The 7th of October 2017, Fernando Alonso is set for a 35-place grid penalty at the Japanese Grand Prix after taking on new power unit elements, meaning he is likely to start Honda's home race from the very back of the field. Honda detected a hydraulic issue on Alonso's internal combustion ICE engine after Friday practice at Suzuka and, as a result, changed the power unit overnight. Alonso moves on to his 10th MGUH and Turbocharger, 8th ICE and MGUK, 7th energy store and 6th control electronics. The power unit spec is still 3.7. McLaren broke the paddock curfew in order to do so. Under current Formula One regulations, drivers are permitted to use only 4 of each of the 6 elements that make up the power unit before grid penalties are imposed. The first time a 5th element is used, a 10-place grid penalty will be imposed, with a 5-place drop imposed the first time a 5th of any of the remaining elements is used. The first time a 6th element is used, a 10-place grid penalty will be imposed, and so on. Alonso will thus take a notional 35-place grid drop. Latest news 0200. Take a look behind the scenes with Ferrari and drivers Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen during the Japanese Grand Prix F1 1702 F2 1700. Newlycrowned Formula 2 champion Charles Leclerc says a communication mix-up was behind his lack of pace during the closing F2 1556 F1 1554 F1 1551. McLaren's Stoffel Vandoorne believes missing out on a spot in Q3 at the Japanese Grand Prix is beneficial, as it permits him. F1 1408 Ferrari protégé Charles Leclerc secured the 2017 Formula 2 title with victory in the feature race at the penultimate round of F2 1318. Tridents Giuliano Alesi has been handed a one-place penalty after he was deemed to have caused a collision with Jenzer GP3 1302. Jenson Button makes an appearance in the Formula One paddock at the Japanese Grand Prix and relives his victory around the F1 1241. Toro Rosso has confirmed that Daniil Kvyat will return to Formula One at the next Grand Prix in the United States, in the wake of F1 1235. Renault has confirmed that Carlos Sainz Jr. will race for the team from the next event, the United States Grand Prix, in place. F1 1211. Julian Palmer has revealed that Sunday's Japanese Grand Prix will be his final race for Renault, bringing forward his departure. F1 1148. Felipe Massa believed he extracted the maximum performance from his Williams FW40 during qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix F1 1048 GP3 1046. Artsnire Fukuzumi converted pole position into his second victory of the campaign during a largely processional GP3 feature. GP3 1031. Stewards at the Japanese Grand Prix have taken no further action against Sergio Perez, after he was alleged to have impeded F1 1019. Valtteri Bottas is optimistic that his alternative strategy will pay off at the Japanese Grand Prix, with the Mercedes driver. F1 1002. Haas-Romain Grosjean says he was left puzzled by the crash which eliminated him from qualifying for the Japanese Grand F1 0952. Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen have taken different setup directions for the Japanese Grand Prix, as Red Bull looks to put F1 0900. Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel says he tried everything on his final Q3 lap at the Japanese Grand Prix in the knowledge that a F1 0842. Lewis Hamilton hailed the handling of his Mercedes W8 after he claimed pole position at Suzuka for the first time in his F1 0841 F1 0814 F1 0813. Lewis Hamilton stormed to pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix, his first at Suzuka, with a new all-time lap record, while F1 0653. Nico Rosberg says there is no doubt about Robert Kubica's condition to participate in a full Formula One season, ahead of his F1 0636 F1 0633. Kimi Räikkönen is set for a 5-place grid penalty at the Japanese Grand Prix after Ferrari was forced to change the gearbox. F1 0558. Learn more about the new Mercedes and Project One hypercar, which brings current Formula One hybrid technology to the road. F1 0550. Julian Palmer will join Fernando Alonso in taking a sizable grid drop for the Japanese Grand Prix, after Renault fitted a new F1 0506 F1 0504. Valtteri Bottas led teammate Lewis Hamilton in a Mercedes 12 during final practice for the Japanese Grand Prix, a session. F1 0347 F1 0326. Fernando Alonso is set for a 35-place grid penalty at the Japanese Grand Prix after taking on new power unit elements, meaning F1 0212. McLaren provides a glimpse of some of the outfits and merchandise sported by Japanese Formula One fans, who are some of the most F1 1917 Jenzer Alesi has been handed a grid penalty after impeding a rival during qualifying for the opening GP3 race of the GP3 15-12 F2 15-11. Charles Leclerc extended his Formula 2 title lead after taking his 8th pole position of the season during qualifying for the F2 13-44 GP3 13-42. Nirei Fukuzumi claimed his second successive GP3 pole position after prevailing against his teammates during qualifying for GP3 13-06. Honda test rider Hiroshi Aoyama will replace the injured Jack Miller at Mark VDS for next weekend's Japanese Grand Prix, the Motage.